Hey guys, it's Stephanie. I'm Brandi, and this is your weekly dose of BS.
Okay, I need to tell y'all something.
Oh, God.
I told Stephanie a few weeks ago, and it's been a long enough time frame to where I feel comfortable telling the rest of the world. Okay, so one of our listeners messaged me on Instagram. Okay, well, so
oh my God, I already
back.
know where this is going.
She does.
This is so stressful.
My fiance Zach and I have a podcast called the Mr. Podcast, and there's a guy that listens to the podcast, and he always responds to like my Instagram story videos that I post about it and all this stuff. Well, he reached out a few weeks ago and said, hey, do y'all have a wedding registry? And I said, as a matter of fact, we do. And he was like, well, send me your Amazon wish list. And I said, I'm more of a Neiman Marcus girl myself. So I sent him my Neiman Marcus wish list.
Oh, my God.
And then maybe 20 minutes later, I'm at the gym. Zach calls me and is like, oh, my gosh, someone just bought us 4 of these Versace plates on our registry. And I was like, we have Versace plates on our registry? This man bought us $1,000 worth of plates. And I was like, wow, thank you so much. So I messaged him and said, thank you. Da, da, da. Well, then he reached out a few days later and said, hey, I'm coming to town soon and would love to take you to dinner. And I was like, why? No, But also, our plates that he ordered a few days prior had not shipped yet. So I was like, let me know when you're in town. Well, I follow this man on Instagram. And because he's a private accountant, I noticed there was something off about his profile picture.
What was off? Like, describe his profile picture.
I couldn't tell what it was. And so I was like, let me just, who is this man that bought me $1,000 worth of Versace china? So I click on it, and eventually he lets me in, and I see that he has this thing where he likes to cover himself in food.
Oh, wow.
So he asks Zach and I to go to dinner, but he wants to wear an all-white outfit and wants us to use him as our human napkin.
Oh. I would love that experience personally.
Okay. So I'm like, well, mind you, now we're like 5 days in. The plate order has been sent, but theirs not processed from Neiman's yet. I am calling Neiman's every day. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, why haven't these shipped yet? Because I don't want to be like, no. And then I don't have my plates anymore. So I tell Zach, I'm like, hey, guess what? Remember those plates we're getting? Well, this man wants to take us to dinner and wants us to wipe our hands all over him in exchange for the plates. And it's not really an exchange for the plates. It was just like, I don't know.
Did he pick out like a crawfish boil?
Well, so Zach is like, I am not doing that, but you are more than welcome to. And I was like, well, I don't want to go alone. That's weird. I was also like, is this prostitution?
Yes.
So I call, my moral compass, Stephanie Hollman. And I tell her this, and she's like, you have to go. Well, little did I know that Cruz was in the car, and Cruz is back there. He's like, yeah, you should go. And I was like, what? And he was like, well, the man bought you $1,000 worth of plates. You need to go have lunch with him. I was like, okay, fine. So long story short, I picked a place. He was like, pick a place that's real messy. Me, I was like, I want a steak if I'm going to have to sit here and wipe my hands on you. But also, I'm like, where do I go?
Barbecue.
Like, I need to go to a restaurant where I'm not going to normally go.
Seafood where they dump all the crawfish and corn.
And that's exactly where I went. I was like, see you at Shell Shack. So we went to Shell Shack, and
was he like in a white pristine outfit?
Yes. And I think once we got there, mind you, we were like the only people there. I was trying to pick a time where we weren't super busy, but there was no one else there. So then we had extra attention from the staff, and I was like, oh. But he got, I think, a little more shy once we were there and was like, didn't know how it was going to go. And so it ended up wiping my hands all over him. But I did. As soon as he sat down, he goes, do you see the plates shipped? Literally that moment, the plates had shipped. And I was like, did he plan this? Long story short, Zach got his Versace china, and I got some shrimp out of the deal.
Oh,
so after the fact, I tell Stephanie this, and she was like, I can't believe you did that. I was like, you told me to.
That's what I do in life.
Yes.
I'm like, just go for it. And then I shame after. Listen, no, I felt like even if you were murdered, it's a good story to tell.
Oh, yeah.
The
That's what her and Cruz said.
Do you feel like y'all are going to have a friendship now moving forward?
I mean, maybe he was a very nice man. I enjoy the Versace china. Cruz, though, he was like, this will be a really good podcast. And I was like, honestly, the only reason I'm doing this is because it will be good podcast content. He's like, no, if you get murdered, you'll be famous and get a murder podcast. And I was like, that's not
Crime
reassuring
junkie.
to me. Also, the fact that that's like where his head went. Cruz is over here like, this would be great for me.
Oh yeah,
That is so
then
your son.
we can be on the news talking about like
Cruz over here planning
good
his press
things about
tour.
whenever like who you were as a person.
Yeah.
It'd be fabulous.
Like, but man, that way he went down was so strange.
So yeah.
So
Oh, I mean,
just-
Brandi, would you do it?
No, I would never do it.
$1,000
but-
worth of Versace
Okay, so
china.
what if it was like for charity
me.
and somebody bought you at like for a charity lunch and then they were like, and they spent like $1,000 to have lunch with you, and then they were like, "I really have this thing where I want you to
Throw
wipe your
your
hands
food
all
at
over
me."
me." What would you do? What would you say?
No. I would just say no.
I don't know. Maybe if it was in the spur of the moment, I would do it because I'd be like, "Oh, it's your pants, not mine." But
Well, listen, now
Oh.
I have a new friend out of it.
So I have a funny story. So Brian and I did a couples massage, and then after our couples massage, we come out. But Brian, like, after the couples massage, he kept saying, "Okay, so am I going to get a happy ending?" And I'm like, "No, you're not." So, anyways, we walk out, and our masseuses are standing there, and she goes, "Oh, you were so naughty," and she was from a different country. So she had an accent, and she's like, "Oh, you were so naughty." And I go, "Oh, no, we didn't do anything." She's like, "What? No, like your body is nuts."
Oh, that's funny.
oh my gosh.
Have you ever done one of those massages where they walk on you?
Yes,
Yes.
it's a Thai massage.
Yes.
Zach, this is maybe a year ago. Zach booked us a massage, and I laid on the table, and there's like two like parallel bars in the ceiling. And I was like, that's weird. Maybe it's for like a light. And this lady gets up and starts jumping on my back. I about had a whole heart attack.
Oh no, mine
Strangest
wasn't like
thing.
that. I had a lady whenever we were in the Virgin Islands, it was at this really nice place, and she like would do like, I swear it was like acrobat. She would like, she was like your kids cheering, but like with massage. She would like do some tumble, but it was really light. Like, and then I would feel her like legs and her arms like hit the side, not on me, but on the side, and then she would get on and like use her feet and hands and walk. But
Oh,
it
that
was very
not my
relaxing.
experience.
It wasn't like she was like walking on my back. I do that to Travis sometimes because he has a lot of back issues.
Oh, Lordy.
All right, so Valentine's Day is coming up. Do either of your kids have a boyfriend or girlfriend right now?
No.
So you were off the hook for Valentine's Day.
I mean,
Yes.
I don't think Chance will ever tell me if that happens again. So as of right now, I don't know. I'll have to ask Brooklyn and Brinkley. I feel like they would know, or my sister. She tends to know everything. But not as of right now that I know of. But if so, I'll make sure he gets her something good.
What are y'all's romantic Valentine's Day plans?
Brian and I are going to be in California, so we're going to be.
Y'all have been traveling a lot.
I know, like
know, yeah.
nonstop.
Bopping all
yes.
around.
We are.
I love
I don't. Whatever Travis puts together, I'll attend. Whatever he does, I'll attend. This is done a little early, but I am having eye surgery. So it depends on how my eyes look. Like if I look like Quasimodo, then I probably will stay home or whatever that thing is, where it has a big eye or whatever.
Oh, yes.
If my eyes look crazy, I'll stay home. But if not, I usually just go to
Explain
dinner.
your eye surgery.
So I'm getting a upper, I hate to say it wrong, blaraplasty or something like that. It's just where they take a little bit of skin off of your top eyelids and then just make it look like your eyes did like in your 20s, like earlier. I
Interesting.
like my eyes
So
look
you
like
grow excess skin in your eyelids?
yeah, so like
Or you
whenever
get-
you age, you have like everything starts sagging, but your eyes from rubbing them, from squinting, just like they tend to get a little bit extra skin. So I can tell whenever I put my makeup on. My makeup looks different now than it did 5-6 years ago.
Interesting.
Whenever I put it on, but it's a super easy surgery. I hear it's like a week recovery, but knowing me, it'll be like a 3-month recovery.
You'll be fine.
So we'll see. But I have everything purchased. I actually had a girlfriend who did it before me, and there's something really nice about like having somebody send you videos every day.
Well, yeah, you had a little
about-
test dummy first.
yeah,
so that,
like
I'm
she's
sure that makes you feel
literally
better.
yeah. So I'm like, okay, everything's gonna work out. But I'm excited. It's like one of the easiest things you can have done. It's not like they're, with other, especially plastic surgery, they have to tighten muscles and put things under muscles, and the recovery is so painful because of everything that they do internally. I mean, this is literally like cutting a little piece of skin and then sewing back up. So, but it's on your eyes. It's like hard to cover, you know?
Nothing will ever be as bad as when you had those 3 lasers done in one day and you literally looked like Shrek.
Oh, I looked horrific. I mean, I looked in the mirror. I did not recognize myself.
Stephanie's face is very much like an oval and like very petite. She was a square, a full on square.
I mean, it was horrible.
It was
never.
shocking.
I could not open my eyes. Have you ever had a laser done, Brandi, to the point to where you like
the way you did.
Where you,
Yeah,
I
not
sent
that
you
bad.
pictures too, right? Nobody could believe it. Like I could not make this public at the time because I would have been made fun of forever. Like it would have, like everyone would have shared it. But I've never looked so crazy. I could not open my eyes. Like my eyes were like this big because they were so swollen. It was like just barely could see out of my eyes. My whole face, my cheeks, everything. And it was like that. I could not go to my mailbox. That's how bad I looked. For about 8 days, Trey had to come to my house, get my mail, take it inside because I could not physically leave my house. I looked like a monster.
It was comical.
I did have a laser done though where it started to sting really bad. And I remember I was on my way to pick up the girls from cheer and it was kind of a nice, cool day. And I rolled down my window and I stuck my head out.
Like a little dog?
I look like Ace Ventura going down the road. Like, oh, this feels so good.
Oh my gosh. No, I hate, like that's the thing. Like with lasers, every time I get them, every time I do one, even the ones that aren't that bad, it's like I never really plan it well. And then Travis always, and I never go to dinner. You all know I never leave my house. And I get a laser and I have it scheduled. And then Travis, it's like on a Wednesday. And then Travis is like, oh, Friday we have plans with so-and-so. And I'm like, well, Lord, help me. So then I always am like looking a little crazy when we go out. But
Lasers are also sometimes your excuse to not go out.
no, I mean, I think I'm really looking forward to it. Like, I am not going to leave my house. I have my mom coming in. She's going to take because you're not supposed to drive for a few days. So she's going to take because you're not supposed to squat. I guess, did you know that you use your eyes muscles for like everything? So like you don't want to use your eye muscles. So like squatting, anything like that puts pressure on your eyes.
Oh.
So I have a
So,
cold. See, that's why I have my mask.
right?
Stay with
Yeah,
me.
I'm gonna get sick right
Oh.
beforehand. So there's like all these things, and like the one, I mean, with anything else you can cover, but like I'm gonna follow it to a T. My mom's coming in.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, you have to pick me up from the surgery, so
Oh,
thank you,
yeah.
Trey, in
Remind me what day
advance.
that is.
Thank you in advance.
Stephanie, how was the Montana house? I saw you were there a few weeks ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like it's gonna get better, but
Well, I would hope.
we drove up and it was shocking because it looked much bigger than it did on paper. Like, God, whenever we like, worked with the architect,
How big is it?
like around 10,000 square feet.
Okay. Wasn't it bigger before and y'all already chopped it down a
We
little
chopped
bit?
it down, well, because we wanted all these like certain things, and then it just, anyways. But it looks like a little monster, and then you walk inside and there are no walls up, so it's just, but it looks like it just looked too big, and I never like, and it's Travis said it's about the same same size as our house now, but it looked like uninviting whenever I walked in. So, but the designer and everyone said as soon as you have cabinets and walls, like it goes from looking small to big to like normal. Is that how you feel like yours? Like,
Yeah,
was there a
it's
moment where you were
finally-
like, this is too much?
Yeah. Well, I feel like right now, like it looks like we feel like we're at the finish line now.
Yeah.
So it's just, there's just a hold up on a few items,
But when there were no walls up, did you feel like it was just too big?
because everything is like
Everything's
it-
open.
yeah.
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 Like, that's the
It
thing.
looks like a warehouse almost.
Yeah, well, that's what I feel. I feel like I'm moving into a warehouse soon. That's exactly what it is, especially like our main area. There aren't any walls. So like our kitchen, bar, dining room, living room, it's all like one open space. And then there's like just a fireplace kind of separating the dining room and the living room. And there are 30-foot ceilings. So it's a really big open, there's that one open space. It looked like a warehouse. Like I was like, oh my baby Jesus, what are we going to do with this? The kids loved it because, they like obnoxious things. But it was Travis and I, his mom calls it the school, because it is like, it just looks like a monster right now. So I'm hoping it'll look more comfortable and homey once everything's put in, but it was jarring, but it'll be done by hopefully Thanksgiving, definitely by Christmas, they say. But the roof's on, all the windows are in. So everything's,
Well, I'm sorry your house is too big.
No, I mean, it's so stupid. But I wanted it to be like a really comfortable, like cozy ski house.
Yeah,
And then whenever I went there, I was like, there's nothing cozy about this. It's like, it just felt like a little
it needs
too
stuff.
much.
It needs curtains. It needs a couch.
It did not feel like cozy. It felt like cold.
You do have, she FaceTimed me when she was there, and the windows y'all have are unreal. Like, wow.
It's the back of the house is all windows because, I mean, it's on the ski mountain, so you kind of pay for the view. So, like, if you don't do a lot of windows, like, what are you doing?
I really want to learn how to ski whenever you get this house because my first time with you teaching me was absolutely awful, and I really want to learn.
Well, no, I mean, it was not awful. It was the best thing ever.
It was awful. Brandi, are you a good skier?
I mean, I can ski, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm good.
Okay.
Like Brandi's good. She has her knees hurt from cheering, so I feel like you can do like a few runs, but then you're in pain.
When did you learn?
I started skiing when I was a little girl. So
okay. See, I think that's right.
When
I have kids, I'm gonna sit them down the slope real early.
Well, no, don't send them out. Like put them in like
ski school
for 5 days. There's like this 5-day rule that Travis has, and I totally agree with him. And it takes 5 days for your kids to figure it out.
You put me in ski school for 45 minutes.
Well, no, I did. And then I was so bored that I was like, I think you can make it down the mountain. And because you're kind of a daredevil. And it was funny. Like I peed a little bit because I was laughing so hard whenever I brought you up to the mountain and said, come get me. And then you started sidestepping. And then 5 hours later, when you were still sidestepping down the mountain, I was like, oh my God, this is horrible.
Wow. Well, I can't wait.
It's going to be, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'll teach you. I feel like the schools there, ski schools are going to be so much cheaper than, if you're like in Aspen or, anywhere in Colorado, it's going to be, you're paying such a premium.
Yeah. Why didn't y'all pick Aspen?
We looked at a place. We actually had a place in Aspen that we kind of did a handshake on, and then the next day this person came back and it was like, so I mean, Aspen's tough because Travis wanted to live in like the city, like in the little town,
right?
And it was like 1,300 square feet, and it was like, I want to say almost $4 million.
Oh, wow.
For 1,300 square feet. And then the people came back and wanted like an extra $100,000, and Travis was like, it's just the principal. So then COVID happened like weeks after. And then Travis was like, oh my gosh, that place is going to go for, like, it's going to be such a discounted rate. Nobody's going to buy homes right now because the world's so crazy. And then the place sold for like $500,000 more than what we were going to pay for it. Yeah.
I have a friend, his boyfriend moved from Dallas out to Breckenridge because his office went fully remote. And he was like, I don't think it's going to go back anytime soon. He was right. And he lives in Breckenridge up in a mountain ski town.
Oh my, yeah.
And just chills up there. But yeah, that's kind of where everyone fled to.
If I had to do it again, like COVID again, if I knew what I know now, which obviously I didn't, I would have taken the kids, Travis and I would have like lived somewhere, like, I don't know if it would have been a beach community or an Aspen, or I would have like just went somewhere. That was like the one time in our life, especially with little kids, where you really could have gone and lived somewhere like remote and lived your best life.
Filming a TV show.
Oh shoot. Yeah, I was. I should have done that. Yeah. But that was like the one time that I feel like you really could have done something fun.
So I think it was right before the new year. Paris Hilton posted that she has some really exciting announcement coming. And people thought it was that she was going to be on Beverly Hills.
Or like a new perfume or something.
Yeah. Which she has like 19. She's a lot of businesses. But the announcement was that she and her new husband had a baby via surrogacy. So she was never like pregnant. We didn't miss that. But yeah, she's a little baby boy, I think.
That's so sweet. Like, how nice would it be if you're a celebrity? Like, if you have a surrogate, you really can keep it secret and like enjoy the moments. Where I feel like if not, like with Kylie, everyone was like always looking at her belly. Even with Courtney, like I would hate that when people are like, are you pregnant? Are you not? No, but whenever people would see her at a certain angle and then just think that she's pregnant, and then everybody, yes. I think somebody did that to me once. It really hurt my feelings.
Speaking of the Kardashians, they're up to something. They've been a little too quiet lately. You notice that? There's just like, there's nothing happening.
I don't follow them.
They're just, even if you don't follow them, they're always in your face. And they haven't been lately, and I'm suspicious.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like if I were them, they're all worth like, some of them are worth billions of dollars. At least all of them are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I would just go live my best life. right? Like I would not do another TV show. I would not, right? Wouldn't you?
Walk away from it. But I mean, I feel like some people are just like they need that,
Like they're addicted to the attention and the spotlight.
Right. Yeah. That's what I think.
But I mean, I guess they kind of grew up with it. But if I were them, I would be like,
peace out.
well, especially with kids.
Yeah.
There's a moment where they're going to wake up and, I mean, I'm not saying their kids don't have a great life, but I would want my kids to have a life outside of cameras and like always being the focus of everything. They can't do anything wrong. I mean, it's hard enough for adults not to do or say the wrong thing. I mean, kids, they're going to.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed North's TikTok or her TikToks.
Well, I think she did something a while ago with like I guess they had their dogs like in their garage or something.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
No.
Oh my
the
gosh.
dogs
Like,
in
I
the
mean, it was like
garage.
this huge, like pen type thing, but it was in the garage. And then everyone like started having a nervous breakdown that her dogs were in the garage and that she was an animal abuse or something. It was like, I didn't see it, but I know enough people that told me about it. And then I saw it, of course, on TikTok. But it was North doing it. So North was like, do you want to see where my dogs are? And then took him out there and then everyone had a nervous breakdown.
This is where my dogs live.
Yes.
Oh no.
And then that all blew up. Like North is blowing up Kim's life.
North will
Like,
be
not-
the end of that
Not
lady.
in a great way.
It is comical. It's
Yeah.
so funny.
Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Hollman.
And me at Brandi Redmond.
And you can follow our podcast at BS the Podcast. And you can follow us at Weekly Dose of BS on YouTube. Bye.